Hello? Okay. So funny enough, the last talk was about like building a game with mud in 5 minutes. This talk is going to be about a game built with mud in like 5 months. So the much more extended version of it. And I think the last talk you probably found to be useful and technical, and like you can do something with it in your life. This talk will be really, really weird. And you might find it useful, but you should at least find it really weird. Ethereum's ultimate gift will be birthing digital matter. So basically, we'll start off by saying that one lens to view Ethereum is as a more efficient, open, global financial system. And this is a valid lens to view it as. And if you view it from this lens, there's a particular set of things you care about. You care about stable coins, you care about RWAs, you care about on-chain treasuries, you care about secure wallets and private payments. But this talk is going to be really weird, right? So it's going to be about an entirely different lens to view Ethereum through. A lens that is not really about moving our existing world on-chain to make it more fair and more global and efficient. Instead, it's a lens about creating a totally new and weird world, which is quite different from what we have today. And a future that's like super weird and interesting, but something we can enable with Ethereum. We're going to talk about Ethereum as a way to make people treat digital objects as if they were real. If you think of the prompt that Bitcoin was able to birth digital coins that people treat like a real valuable coin, the prompt today is going to be, can we use Ethereum to 100x this and birth digital planets that people treat like real valuable planets? And to sort of draw an analogy that we can play with, if we think Bitcoin has scarce coins, we can think a digital planet might have scarce crops, scarce wood, scarce ores, scarce land. If we think Bitcoin has tamper-proof IOUs, you may think a digital planet has tamper-proof physics. Just like having lots of scarce Bitcoin grants you power in Bitcoin's world, controlling lots of the scarce matter grants you power on a digital planet. If you sort of just visualize it, imagine that if you want to go somewhere far, because you want to mine a valuable resource there, you're going to need a lot of food. So you can sort of, re-energize yourself and get there. So if someone is going to farm crops and you have scarce crops, that's valuable and you can create markets with it. And if we do another thought exercise, just to get really weird here, if you think that Bitcoin on AWS, it could only be worth so much, right? But if you put Bitcoin with true scarcity and tamper-proof rules, because you use blockchains, it can be worth $1 trillion. So likewise, if you have sort of digital wood on AWS, it can be worth nothing. But if you have digital wood with true scarcity and tamper-proof rules, I don't know, can you have digital wood that's worth $1 million? And there's already there's a bit of a meme about this sort of in the community we're from, about digital Sakura that takes a year to grow and you can build really cool things with it being like super valuable. And to make things concrete and not as sort of abstract as they are, we're going to use biomes as a case study. On the surface, biomes is basically just Minecraft with everything on chain. This is possible for the first time ever because of recent advances in sort of scaling. This means everything is on-chain. All the items are on-chain, the players are on-chain, every action the player takes like that, like building and jumping and moving, all of it is on-chain. And recently, biomes has started to see a lot of traction. Funny enough, there's sort of the chain that sort of, that was being talked about in the last talk. That chain is sometimes in top 5 in rollup.wtf, which is the chain biomes runs on. One of the community members has said biomes feels like Ethereum but more playful. There's people who spend hours and hours a day building stuff in biomes, people who spend 8 hours plus hours a day sort of mining stuff. So biomes has really been getting a life of its own recently. And we're going to ask and we're going to dig deep on why this is happening and why people are excited about biomes. Think of it like biomes is a digital planet the same way Bitcoin is a digital coin. And you have provably scarce matter. There's only so much coal, there's only so much ores, there's only so many crops, only so much wood, and you have tamper-proof physics. Similar to how folks use smart contracts to build on top of Ethereum, folks use smart items to build real economies on top of biomes. Smart items are just items with functionality in the world that you can program with a smart contract. So imagine you have a chest. In a chest, you can put stuff inside, you can take stuff out. Imagine I put a smart contract inside of the chest, and I program it with, Uniswap. So every time someone mines, an ore and puts the ore inside of the chest, they get some amount of token, or I can put the token inside and get some amount of the ore, and all the prices are set by AMM pricing, just the way they would be in a DeFi protocol. And you can sort of imagine this for a ton of things. You could imagine a door inside of the world that is a literal token gate. The door checks if you have a token, and if you do, it lets you open it and get through, right? So you're taking Ethereum and you're giving it the Homer Simpson treatment. If you told like some random person what is a token gate, this is what they would think it is. It's a gate that you need a token to open. You have a force field that can protect lands, and you can program with a smart contract to determine who's allowed to build and mine inside. So yeah, smart items are just like physical smart contracts. And already a lot of really cool things have been built inside biomes with this stuff. The bazaar is basically our version of Uniswap. It's a large mall with chess shops for all types of objects, and it prices everything according to the Uniswap AMM formula. And there's another group of players who right beside our building created this thing called WASSwap. And basically, it's the sushi swap of biomes, right? They're trying to vamp attack the bazaar with like different pricing. So you can kind of see the same kind of like emergence you see in DeFi happening inside of this virtual world. You have the Sakura temple. So Sakura wood is wood that takes a year to grow, and it's a bit of a meme in the community. So you have a group of players who have built this big temple where they programmed a chest such that if you donate Sakura to it, it gives you a membership NFT. And they're probably going to gate all of their future meme community events with this NFT. And they're going to use all of the donated Sakura to build the largest Sakura tree in the world. You have the Castle Hotel and Sakura Inn, which are hotels with beds inside, and they're going to make it so you can keep your players safe and not be griefed when you're logged out. And of course, you gotta pay rent to stay in these hotels. The Pyramid Arena will host a bunch of duels in the future, have a bunch of betting markets around all these duels and prize pools. The parkour challenge, it's this really hard challenge where if you complete it at the very top, you can sort of mint an NFT, and this NFT will grant you access to more difficult parkour challenges in the future. So you can already see how smart items are literally the smart contracts of biomes, and people are building physical dApps inside of the world. So with scarce matter, tamper-proof physics, and smart items, a crazy new asset class and economy is now being born inside biomes. Imagine a force field protected gold reserve. Imagine you have a chest where you go around this Minecraft world and you mine for gold, and gold ore is scarce and hard to find. You get this gold and you put it in the chest, and the chest mints you a coin. If you put the coin back, it burns the coin and gives you gold ore. Right, so now you have a coin that is backed 1-to-1 with the scarce gold ores in the world. And every time you do this, it takes a small fee and gives it to players that reinforce the force field that is protecting sort of this chest from being stolen and broken into. In this case, what you see is if this coin rises in price, let's say this coin gets enough mindshare and enough excitement and enough utility in the world that it reaches even the 10 million market cap, it becomes extremely and viscerally obvious why you need the gold scarcity to be provable. Because if I, as the dev of the world, can arbitrarily mint myself more gold ores, I can just go to the chest and mint myself more coins, right? And then that just breaks all of the functionality of the coin. It also makes it super clear why the physics needs to be tamper-proof. Because if I change the physics, I can make the force fields really easy to break. And then I, as a dev, can just go to this bank reserve and just break the force field, steal all the gold ores, and that token is going to go to zero. So as soon as you have this new asset class that's extremely weird, an asset class that's born in the physics of a virtual world, as soon as you have that asset class take off, it sort of just carries the virtual world forward. You know why all the ores need to be scarce, all the physics need to be tamper-proof. And it's just a massive narrative violation where the virtual world now just instantly becomes super significant. To sort of give another example, you can think of like an old asset class, which was I don't know if anyone's aware of like the entire NFT metaverse land movement that happened a couple years ago. That's kind of, that's really failed. But basically in that movement, you could own and trade land NFTs. And if you had one of these NFTs, you would have total forever ownership of that land. And this was really good for a specific crowd of people, the crowd of people that were into hyper-rational financial speculation, right? I can buy this real estate because I think it's going to be worth more in the future, and you have like Snoop Dogg buying land. But in this new asset class, it looks very different. If you want to sort of protect land, you have to build a military. Now, this military can tokenize the land they're protecting and sell it to people, and like, oh, come build in this land, and we'll make sure only you can access it. But that token is only worth anything as long as the military is still active. If I come back in 8 months and that military has been broken down, the token they sold can't really do anything, right? So this is a very different type of economy where players have to actually grow and maintain a digital military to maintain the value of the assets they've just sold. And anytime you have a thing, you kind of see this in crypto all the time with whether it's been DeFi or NFTs or meme coins. When you have a different asset class with a completely different set of rules, it invites a different type of participation, and you start to appeal to a different set of users. So yeah, we think a crazy new asset class, which is enabled by digital matter and smart items, is slowly unlocking biomes, and soon we think these sort of concepts are what will unlock autonomous worlds broadly. The crazy new asset class enabled by digital matter and smart items. This is the statement. Now, we have some time because I think they allocated too much time to me for this talk. So we're going to go a bit crazy. And we're just going to zoom out from this biomes case study and sort of put our heads back in the sky for a second. We're seeing here how Ethereum can eventually birth worlds that we don't physically inhabit, and we never can, but we still treat as tremendously real and valuable and consequential. In these worlds, unlike Bitcoin's scarce digital coins and tamper-proof IOUs, these worlds have scarce digital matter and tamper-proof physics. And inside of these worlds, inhabitants use smart items, which are tangible forms of smart contracts, to grow digital economies with unimaginably large GDPs. So I think the thing that's interesting about this slide is you're kind of just seeing how, in a way, this has already happened, right? Like the idea of scarce digital resources with tamper-proof rules has already been proven by Bitcoin. And all you're doing is you're taking that same concept and you're making it very physical. You're saying that instead of scarce digital coins, now we're going to have scarce digital matter. Instead of tamper-proof financial rules, you're going to have tamper-proof physics rules. And just like smart contracts have already created this crazy on-chain economy with a bunch of emergent DeFi protocols, we're seeing how smart items takes that and brings it to virtual worlds. And you see a bunch of crazy emergent economies inside of a physical world. So the same way we unlocked crypto, I think, is how we're going to unlock autonomous worlds. But this time it'll just be way cooler because way more people like Minecraft than like Excel spreadsheets. And okay, if we just take another step back, if these autonomous worlds grow like billion-dollar GDPs, right, or even like $1 trillion, why not? We can make up numbers here. Let's say it goes $1 trillion GDP, and you start somehow having autonomous agents living inside, then it becomes really funny, because if these agents live inside these worlds, they're going to value the scarce digital matter inside of the worlds that they live in much more than they value coins from our world, which they don't live in. If you give an agent like 5 diamond ores from inside of the world, they can take those ores and turn it into a weapon and like cause havoc in the world. So it's obviously useful to them. But if you give them like $5, like what are they going to do with that? They can't like buy like a McDonald's burger, right? They can't eat that. It's a software. So like if the GDP grows to a couple $1 billion and you have autonomous AI inside, you're going to have a super weird world. AGIs only accept Sakura for payment. They don't believe in coins. In 2027, Biomes is our only communication channel to AGI agents. And when we seek wise counsel, we travel into biomes and journey to the lands and homes of these AI agents, and we bring them gifts like glowstone in exchange for books containing the Riemann hypothesis solution. I don't know if anybody's seen like Doctor Strange, but there was this like thing at the end where to save the world, Doctor Strange had to like bargain with Dormammu. Like, Dormammu, give me the solution. So it'll be the same thing. You're going to go and bargain with the AGI inside of biomes and be like, here, AGI, here are all these redstone blocks. And the AGI would be like, oh, wow, I value these because the GDP is so high. In return, here's the solution to climate change, right? So, yeah, and Skylar, you got to trust Skylar. Skylar is very credible. Skylar is the Devcon head, right? So he's trustworthy. And here's what he has to say about biomes. He thinks, first, this is unstoppable Minecraft, but next, it is an unstoppable lifelike simulation with unalterable digital physics, roamed by AI cryptomata who believe they're as sentient as we believe we are. So even if this looks like Minecraft, you need to take it very, very seriously. This is very important. Go to biomes.aw to see all of this unfold. You can come to Mud Day tomorrow, the QR code that was here in the last presentation, and there'll be much more of all this stuff. Thank you, and we have time for a Q&A. Tell me more about the Sakura meme. Okay, basically, I honestly don't know how this got started. I think it's because there was a video that got released on Twitter about how I was talking about how coins are kind of useless, but digital wood is very valuable because you can build a house with it. And Sakura is just a type of wood in biomes that looks really pretty and it's really hard to grow. And it became a bit of a meme. So people just want it. Sakura is the Bitcoin of wood. People really want it. I think that's it.
Yes. Do we want to take any questions from our audience? Anyone have a